I'm a recruiter and I review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a business analyst. So what we need for a business analyst is right here. We need SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Industry, Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Outlook, Excel, Advanced, Word, Jira, SAP, requirements gathering and documentation, influenced cross-functional from IC to stakeholders and managers, and proactively solve business requirements and problems. That is the biggest thing. I need to see that you proactively solve problems. I don't really care how you got data. I don't really care how you transported the data. I care that you actually did something with the data. Explaining complex topics to non-technical people, that is huge. Meet multiple deadlines concurrently, Agile, Scrum, and Waterfall. So, does this resume have all that? No, this is a garbage resume, and I know that because they told me the ratio, which is how you know how many applications it takes. A ratio is how many applications it takes you to get an interview. If it takes you more than 50 applications to get one interview, your resume is not good. If it takes you less than 50 applications to get one interview, your resume is good. And when people follow my methods, they get a 1 in 7. So that is for every 7 applications, they get one interview. The exception to that is if it's pure remote, which is about 1 in 30, or if they're an international, which is about 1 in 30 to a 1 in 100, which is for an international, actually fantastic. Depressingly so. So, this person has 150 plus to 1, so I'm not expecting to find it, and recruiters only have 20 seconds to find what we need in a resume. So, let's see what I can find and what it is missing. 20 seconds on the clock, and go. Okay, this doesn't count. Where's your education? Education is... okay, good. Got it. Alright, analyze student engagement data from Handshake and other platforms. Don't really care. SQL is good. Excel is fine. Uncovering trends that improved outreach efficiency. Why do I care about that? Built Tableau dashboards. Alright, good. To track KPIs. Don't really care. Reduced reporting time. Don't care. Conducted AB and time. So, this is not a good resume. Also, this person went to the same university I did, although they had a much better degree. So CSUN is what they did. It's all the way at the bottom. Alright, so this does not have what I need, so this would definitely be a rejection. So let me read what they wrote, which is, I recently started following your videos and started to make some changes, but this is my old resume. Like removing irrelevant numerics. Yes, you do not want a ton of numbers. The only people that want numbers in the bullet points, to clarify, you need dates of employment, right? That is important, and your phone number. But in the bullet points, the only people that need numbers are sales or leadership roles. So if it's not a leadership role or sales, you actually don't want to have all these percentages because it just makes it worse. But please guide, how should my section order be? Skill section first or last? So, skill section, don't have it. There's not a point to it. So, the reason there's not a point to a skill section, and the reason I can't use anything in the skill section, is because of what recruiters are actually looking for, and hiring managers. So, hiring managers and recruiters are looking for qualifications, not keywords. So, these are keywords. But a qualification is a keyword plus how you used it, plus the reason or result of you using it, plus what you used. And if you don't have those 4, not counting education or years of experience, it does not count as a qualification. So, because a skills section only tells me what, but does not tell me how, reason, result, or where, it is irrelevant and should be deleted. The problem here is, so let's see, and should I include projects in work experience sections like this? No, because that could pull up on the background check. What you want to do is, so your resume should look like this. This is how you do it. The link is in below. But you need to split this off into 2. So one is a work experience section and the other is a project section. Otherwise, it's going to look really weird and it's going to look like your dates of employment are bad. Because, actually, these dates of employment are not bad. But you want to split them off into 2. Let's see. Should I make it freelancer? List all those projects. Yeah, so split it into a work experience and then a project section, right? So, and then fix your formatting. So, like work experience, and then down here it'll be Don't know why I spelled it like that, but it'll be projects down there. But a bigger problem than all of that is the fact that your bullet points are not very good. So when I'm going through these, remember, we're looking at these in qualification format, is analyze student engagement data from blah, 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 don't care. Using Excel, I do care. Uncovering trends. And that's kind of all you wrote, and I need more than that, right? What I want to see is used Excel and SQL, and I do want to see advanced Excel as well. 2, build Tableau dashboards that tracked our KPIs so that X and Y. Because remember, I don't care how you got the data. I just care what you use the data for. And then we also go into this is I don't see how you influence stakeholders, right? And I don't want you to overcomplicate this. Like, well, Lee, they're a student. How did they do stakeholders? I mean, like, the leader of a club is a stakeholder, right? Stakeholder is very, very broad. But, like, how did you influence those people? How did you proactively solve problems? Because deliver data-driven solutions through presentations to educate students, increasing resource utilization is not what we'd be looking for. Like, how did you do that? I don't know. Why did you do that? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Conducted, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. Your resume needs to be razor focused on these. So I want you to imagine that you're hungry, right? You're hungry. You go to lunch and you're like, I want a cheeseburger with pickles and onions. And they say, cheeseburger and pickles and onions? You say, yes, waiter. Cheeseburgers, pickles, and onions. The waiter says, all right away. So they go in the kitchen, they come back, and they say, all right, here's your cheeseburger with pickles and onions. And they hand you a hot dog with cheese, pickles, and onions. You would look at them and you'd be like, this is a hot dog. This is not a hamburger. And they say, no, this is what you wanted because a hot dog has meat just like a cheeseburger. A hot dog has buns just like a cheeseburger. A hot dog can't have cheese, can't have pickles, can't have onions. Thus, based on what you said, this is what you wanted. You would look at them like they were insane and you would leave. And that is the problem that you have with this resume is you filled it with a bunch of hot dogs because these are hamburgers. The skills are hamburgers. But the problem is nothing here tells me about the hamburgers, right? Conducted A/B testing and statistical analysis to evaluate outreach strategy performance. Cool. That's not anything I'm looking for. And if it's not something I'm looking for, it shouldn't be in your resume. Then we go down to here, managed event data and budgets using Excel. Good. That actually tells me how you did it and what you did. To generate performance reports to identify trends and ensure accurate forecasting and adherence to financial goals and financial goals. You don't need this part. So this is not actually a terrible sentence. The problem is I need more. Your goal needs to be 3 of these in each sentence. But the structure of this is actually solid, right? What did you do? You managed events and data using Excel. Cool. How did you do it? Also used Excel. Why did you do it? To generate performance reports, identify trends, and ensure accurate forecasting and adherence to financial goals. Cool. Perfect. That's actually a good sentence. I just need more. Also, stop bolding everything. Because if you notice, you bolded everything I don't care about. Why do I... It gives me context of the sentence. This is not the important part of the sentence. So stop bolding. The only thing that should be bolded in your resume is this, and if you have a project section right here. Nothing else should be bolded in your resume. And then we go down to here and led effective communication strategy with clients while collaborating teams. So how did you do it? Right, I need to know how you led effective communication. So again, you told me the what, but you didn't tell me the how or the reason or result, which is why that doesn't count. So this is why this resume is garbage, right? Now remember, you're not garbage. Your resume does not define you, but your resume is garbage. So this is why your resume is garbage, and that is how to fix it. So I want to thank everybody for watching, right? We've got another 4 resumes coming up. So thank you very much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. I really do appreciate it. And if you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And to my members who get access to videos a little bit early, thank you for supporting me. I am a small channel, and your support means an awful lot to me. So thank you very much. And if you want to, anybody else wants to be a member, the link is in the description below. So let's go to the next resume. This is the most common resume I review on this channel, a full stack software developer. So for a full stack software developer, what we need is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, React, React.js, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, SQL or NoSQL, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, Cloud, any of them is fine. CI/CD, Git, .NET or Python or Java, although in this case, they actually said they are a Python full stack developer, which can be two things. It's either a Python developer with a little bit of full stack or a full stack developer with a little bit of Python. So I know they're not going to have the others, but in this case, Python is what we're looking for. And then bonus points for the rest of that stuff. So this is 100-to-1 ratio, so I'm expecting this to be bad, but not unsalvageably bad. So 20 seconds on the clock. Whoop. Wrong button. Let me fix that. There we go. 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, degree is fine. There's too much space. Okay. Developed a manifest 3. What? But using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which dynamically manipulates the DOM that... What? Okay. Engineered a robust... Why do you say robust? With lettuce and celery. No one wants celery. We want meat. And declined. So, this person had one or two things that are good, but they didn't fully follow my format. So, I'm going to tell you why you're off. They said, I'm a new grad in Canada. This is my updated resume. I want to see if the improvements are good. My previous one got a 1 in 100. So, formatting-wise, there's some errors, right? This does not look like this. This. So there's too big of a, like this gap, right? Like there's way too much. There should be no gap here. There should be no gap here. And while it is good to say awarded second place, you want to put that in a bullet point. You don't want to put that under it. It needs to be in a bullet point. This is a hot dog, right? I get it. You're proud of that. But that's a hot dog, not a hamburger. Second, your bullet points are way too technical. Like, developed a manifest v3 Chrome extension. What? Okay, using stuff we want, which dynamically... Stop using these words. You want your resume to be boring. I know that sort of flies in the face of what other people say, but my advice gets people jobs. Their advice makes you spend money to get bad advice. So I want you to make sure you don't have these... I don't want to say adjectives, but like fancy things like dynamic, exceptional. It needs to be boring, right? Which manipulates the DOM on video feeds. What? To overlay a badge flag. This is way too technical. You might be able to get away with a manifested v3 Chrome extension, but you could just say developed a Chrome extension using X and Y, and then you put what you did. But this is way too technical. Then engineered. What do you mean engineered? Just say built, right? Built a Python fast API backend. Okay. Integrated with do care about PostgreSQL to ingest metadata. Why do I care that you ingested metadata? Execute AI models. Why do I care about that? And serve results. What do you mean? You didn't tell me what the reason or result, right? You told me how you did it. You told me what it did, but I don't know the reason you did it, and it's way too technical. So you're on the right path, but you're still a little off that path. You're like adjacent to the path I want you to be on. Configured a multi-container. Just say configured a Docker environment on. See, this is actually critical. Like they really want cloud. This should probably be in your first sentence. Developed a Chrome extension using HTML, CSS, JavaScript on an AWS, and again, I don't care about the rest of this stuff, AWS environment, you already mentioned Fast API, with PostgreSQL to deploy, no, this should be a second sentence. Yeah, it's just, again, it's way too technical. way too technical. You want the first one to just be very simple. Developed a Chrome extension using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in an AWS environment on a RESTful API that did X and Y, and then you could have the rest of it there. So again, you can't just put in keywords. You have to show me how you did it and the reason and result. And this one, you do show me the how. You do not show me the reason or result in a way that somebody who could understand. Like, I need you to write this for your grandma, right? You need them to be understanding it. Built using React. Again, the first part of this is good, but like, I don't care that you leveraged it. I care what you did. So I need to know what you did, and it's way too technical. You're getting in your way by making it this technical. So, but again, you're closing in on the idea. So, does this fail? Yes. Is this a delete it and never see the resume light of day again? No. Again, there are things that are salvageable, but we really need you to make it less technical. Next resume. This is a patient access coordinator. So basically, a patient access coordinator at its core level is they help you with the insurance at the hospital, right? There's way more to it than that, but that's like the very basic gist. They also help with scheduling. This person did not tell me their ratio, but they did say to absolutely destroy this resume, leave no survivor. So I will be extra mean because that is, I guess, what they want. So what we're looking for in a patient access coordinator is not a lot. We need high school. High school is good or prior experience, right, in a patient access coordinator. Medical billing, scheduling, medical office, computer skills. So normally I say MS Office. You may actually want to say something like computer skills, such as MS Office, because they may not actually know MS Office means computer skills at this type of role. Hopefully they do, but again, rule number 2 is never assume that the other person reading your resume knows what you know. Then I need one of admin, receptionist, or front office, customer service, organizational detail, ability to meet deadlines, multitask, and you don't need to put your driver's license, but if you put valid driver's license, a couple of companies would appreciate it. So, 20 seconds is on the clock. This is a beast. Oh my gosh. And go. Okay, this cannot be used. Okay, Jan till when? What? Organizer, support for scheduling, led union outreach, strategies and coordinated volunteer teams. Coordinated, okay, what? This isn't executed targeted actions. Where's your degree even? Bachelor's of Arts? Okay. Yeah, this is... As someone in my chat said, you're boiling the ocean. As I said, you have overachieved yourself into a rejection. You probably have the right experience for this role, because also, like, it's not a ton of experience, but there's no way people are going to see this. They're going to see this and, like, look, you're applying for jobs where they only want people that just graduated high school, right? Like, we're not even looking for college degrees. It's okay to put your college degree, but because I don't think this is going to make you overqualified, but like, they're not looking for this, right? They're not looking for you to solve 1,000 problems. They're looking for you to deal with Bob, who's got a concussed head, who you have to customer service into helping them. So this is definitely a case of you need to delete all of this. Yeah, because like, this is a nightmare to read. Like, there's so, like, I know you want me to be mean, but it's just, like, there's so much here. Like, I feel like, hey, do you like trains? And then you gave me a 30-minute expose on trains. You're too smart for your own good. So, make your format like this. Please do. There's a reason this is easy. Just have your degree up here, right? I actually don't believe this is going to make you overqualified for it if you have your degree. You can also check to just put high school instead of your degree if you notice that you're getting a little bit more rejections with the degree. Then I need your work history like this. And then I'm going to need you to explain this a little bit more, right? So We may have to change your job title, mainly because I don't like the fact that people would discriminate against this, but they might, which I hate. I would move you forward because I'm pro-union, but some people may not. But also, a union organizer doesn't really scream medical patient access coordinator. So we may want to change the job title here. The second is, will you only have these jobs for a month? Because here, right, down here, you actually stated you were there for 4 years. Here, this makes it seem like you've been there for a month, been there for a month, been there for a month. And that's bad. Also, your bullet points are so dense. Like, so I say this resume works for everybody, and it does, but you need to actually use the bullet points in this, because this is the level of bullet points that they want. Like, yes, this works for software engineers, but like, gave customers correct change by adding and subtracting cash through a computer would be a good sentence to put on here, right? Just like scheduled people through our computer to meet their daily needs, right? This level is what I need you to do, all of it. Used a desk here. Actually, you want to know one of the best ones you could put up here is this one, right? Used a desktop computer to read company emails, take online courses, and input shift ability into our schedule. They would love that. That shows that you can do some scheduling, you actually know how to use a computer, and you can do like actual emails and you know how to use them. They would love that. That should be like your second bullet point. But I need, like, you have overshot the assignment. I understand you want to say, like, I am so qualified, but if you're too qualified for a role, a company won't move you forward. Companies, like, overqualified is the kiss of doom. And the reason for that is they're afraid you're going to leave. Companies are very risk adverse. They would rather make no hire than a bad hire. And a person that is going to leave for a better job in 3 months is a bad hire to them, right? So I need you to go back to the drawing board, and I need you to delete, like, all of this, and make it look like this. Because, like, coordinated partners for encounters, what does that mean? Increased worker engagement, why do I care about that? Develop training programs, cool, not related. Executed media outreach that enhance public visibility, you're not doing that. You're a patient access coordinator. You're dealing with Bob with a concussion, not the marketing team. Designed and delivered onboarding training, you're not a trainer, right? Coach team members, don't really care about that. Monitored store performance, not related. Collaborated with managers, not related. Developed training, guest satisfaction store. So actually here, guest satisfaction scores through targeted coaching could be an actual relevant keyword, because that is at least customer service. But like streamlined workflow processes, you're not doing that. You're an access coordinator. Why would they want someone to fix their process? They just want somebody to do the grunt work. Again, doesn't matter. Prepared beverages. Again, that's not what I need. I don't need you to prepare beverages. I need to see that you've multitasked. I need to see that you've scheduled inventory access. Again, so like this is your problem is you overdid it, bro. You really got to make it the basics. You cannot be overqualified. And this screams as a person that is so incredibly qualified that the manager thinks they're going to get bored and they're going to leave. And there's no way I could convince them otherwise. So, next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. So, technically, they actually said data scientist / data analyst, but those are different roles. Like, yeah, there are similarities, but they're different enough that you absolutely need to tailor a resume to a data analyst position and a data scientist position, or you will get rejected. So what we need for a data analyst is degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, influencing stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders, how you solve the problem with data, not what the data is, MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, ETL, Python, R, multiple projects, and deadlines. So, for this, do we know their ratio? We do not. But I want to be very clear, because this is a problem I see a lot of data analysts is, I don't care that you used a Monte Carlo flip-flop. I care what you did with the data. And that actually goes, the thing is, like, if you go to the CEO of the company and you're like, hey, I got a Monte Carlo simulation using Excel and potatoes, they'd be like, Cool, I don't know how to open my email. You need to tell me how that's useful. So I need to see how it's useful, not how you got it, and I need to see that you influence stakeholders. So, as an example of what a stakeholder is, Elon Musk wants to change Twitter to X. This is an objectively and subjectively terrible idea. Everybody knows changing Twitter to X is a horrible idea. But you have to convince this man with a giant ego that, hey, this is why it's a bad idea, this is the data. And that's the kind of stuff I need you to see. Need to see in the resume. So, 20 seconds on the clock. And again, we don't know the ratio, right? No, we don't know the ratio. So, let's find out and go. Okay, that's fine. This is a problem. Built a SQL in Python, good. To analyze large-scale data, I don't care about this. To predict churn, that is fine. I don't care about this part. Created Power BI, KPI, data visualization, responding customer trends and models. This is too technical, but the right idea. AWS, don't care about this. For reporting and data warehousing and risk enhancing data quality. No one cares about data quality. They might care about scale. So this is okay. I don't think it's enough to get a job, but you have the right idea. So there's like a 1 in 60. The problem is if you need immigration, it's going to be way worse. So, I've been applying since months as an international. Yep, that's the problem. On an OPT, but rarely getting any interviews. I joined Twitch recently, been following and watching your live streams. I've made my draft as per the runnings. It would be helpful you can identify the top 3 domains for me. Ready for the roast. I trust that you'll help me crack this. I'm looking for data analyst, apply data scientist. So, I know you want me to destroy this and rip it asunder, but the core is there. It's just that you're getting too technical and you're filling your resume with a little bit too many hot dogs. So let's break this down, right? And let's see what we have and don't have. So first off, international, your ratio is never going to be a 1 in 7, but hopefully we can get it to a 1 in 30, 1 in 100. This right here, relo, big red flag. You never, ever, 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 ever want to say relo. You want to put right under here, moving to X by Y date, can move earlier if needed. So you would put it right here, because otherwise it's a red flag. I do know that people on visas move all the time. That is expected, but you cannot assume they know that. So you need to put what you're moving to. Second, your formatting is slightly off. Again, this is not this. This is not this. This is how you do it. It is in the link below. This is not this. It's not the worst, but it's still a little bit harder to read than it should be. And as an international, you need all the help you can get. Because again, a perfect resume for you is probably going to get a 1 in 30. Right? So you need to fix the font and everything. And then we go down to the actual bullet points. And let's see what we have. So, SQL, good. Let's take away SQL. We found SQL. Python. Python should probably... There it is. Python, good. Let's say R as well. If you have Python, R, you usually need one or the other. Then we have AI. I don't really care about Skibbity Learn. I understand that it is popular, but it's not popular enough in the job description. So again, I don't really care about Skibbity Learn or Pandas. It would be nicer to have sort of towards the bottom, but not up front. To analyze large-scale data, okay, but like, why did you analyze it? Which you say here. So to analyze customer portfolio, predict churn and credit risk. To cut, but then the thing is, this is incomprehensible to somebody not in the industry. What do you mean cutting risk triage time? Why is that important? I don't know. The rest of this is okay. In fact, you might actually just be able to end it with a little bit more keywords as built SQL and Python pipelines to analyze customer portfolio, predict churn, and credit risk. That's actually a complete sentence. I do need more keywords, but the actual how and the reason the result is fine. You just added a bunch of stuff that I don't need to. Because this is the hot dog. Again, nobody cares that you did 1 million. And the AI should be lower. So we have, what else do we have here? Created Power BI dashboards. Good, that is one of them. So here we go. The data visualization is fine. I would have preferred you said data visualization dashboards, Power BI, but it's not a big deal. But still do it anyway, because again, we're trying to make your resume perfect. KPI reports. Every data analyst wants to put KPIs. KPIs is not in a lot of job descriptions. And data visualizations. Okay, there's data visualizations across multiple projects. Good. And then refining customer trends and model performance for this doesn't mean anything. So again, this part's good, this part's good, this part doesn't mean anything. Design AWS workflows. Cloud is a nice to have. Remember, we still don't have the rest of it. Like, I still don't see stakeholders or solving problems. Have you solved a problem with data? Actually, no, you haven't shown me you solved a problem. So again, this is not bad, but again, we don't want the extra credit up first. We want to do everything else before the extra credit. But like SageMaker, nobody cares about SageMaker or Redshift. Data warehousing, maybe. Maybe they would. They would maybe like that. But nothing else there is relevant. So this entire sentence is mostly bunk. Led ad hoc analysis in Agile. Again, that's like a nice to have. Partnering cross-functionality to blah, blah, blah. What does this mean? This means nothing. This means nothing. This means nothing. Developed a Python. You already mentioned Python earlier. And again, nothing, nothing, nothing. ETL is fine. I don't care about that. Again, that's not matter. So 80 statistical. So in your first bullet point, like in your first thing, here's what I'm missing. Sorry, your degree. You have your degree. You have your degree. I believe I got the industry as well. I don't see that you influence stakeholders. I don't see that you explained complex technical topics to non-technical stakeholders. In fact, your bullet points are kind of obtuse, which goes against that opinion as well. You need to be able to show through the bullet points. So I don't see that. I don't really see how you solved a problem with data. I did see the reason and result of it. I didn't see the problem you solved. I don't see anything about MS Excel, which is a big, big deal breaker, or Word. I kind of saw multiple projects, did not see deadlines. And again, the nice to have is cloud and AI, which is fine, but this is not enough. You need this. Because remember, you need 75% of that to move forward, and this is a big chunk of this. I found about 50%. So your formatting is off. Your actual bullet points are off in most of them, and they're filled with a lot of hot dogs. I understand that doing 1.8 million is impressive, but the hiring team doesn't care, and I'm including the hiring manager. Like, again, you're doing the same mistake as the previous person did, is you're going way too technical, way too deep. When they're looking for this, they're looking for basic and boring, and you're not basic and boring. You're cool and crazy, and cool and crazy, no one's settling down with that. So you need to make it basic and boring, because this is part of your problem. And the fact, again, your international is going to hurt your chances. But if you do, I have gotten internationals like 1 in 30 before with data analysts specifically. So follow this method, fix the formatting, make it basic, make it boring, make it simple. Next resume. This is another data analyst. So same thing. I don't need to repeat it. We already know what we need. It's right up there. 20 seconds on the clock. Let me get that fixed. 20 seconds on the clock. We do not know their ratio, right? We don't know the ratio. We don't know the ratio. So let's see what I can find and go. Okay, degree. Too big of a gap. That's not related. Python and Excel. Okay. Don't need that. Just a little hotspot detection model. Alright. Time. So, this doesn't work. It's mostly what I say, but not fully. Also, the formatting is off. This is how it looks. Like, people put way too big of a gaps up here, and I don't know why. Like, your resume should start, like, right here. Right? Your number there, and then your first bullet point should ideally start, like, here, and their first bullet point starts all the way down here. But formatting is a separate issue that there's just kind of not enough here. Like, remember, we need... That airplane is so loud. We need what you did, how you did it, and the reason and results. And the problem with this is you either tell me what you did but not how you did it, or you basically are missing one, right? Each of these only has two. Collected this under time-sensitive conditions. Okay, cool. That doesn't tell me why you did it. That doesn't tell me the reason and results. Also, it doesn't really tell me what you did because the what is a keyword. Then use Python and Excel, what, to review and correct indices in real-time data sets, revealed insights and data, and visualize them. But why? Why did you do that? What was the reason for that? Why was that important? I don't know. Communicated insights to technical and non-technical stakeholders using MS Office. Cool. Again, this is really just missing the reason and result. So I've been applying for jobs and not have any interviews, and I have this resume after following your guide. So yeah, you need to fix the formatting, right? There should not be this much gaps everywhere. This is how it looks. This is how you do it. This looks cleaner than this. Second is these bullet points are just... they don't really exist as much, and I don't have enough. So one thing that I'm a little concerned is I don't know if they're going to know that this is equivalent to a data analyst degree. Second is there's nothing in this that I need. Python is good, right? So let's mark what I have. Python, good. Again, we can count that. We have Excel, but I need advanced Excel, and you don't tell me advanced Excel. So that doesn't really count, because remember, I'm looking for advanced Excel, not just Excel. I do have MS Office, and communicated insights to technical and non-technical stakeholders. But remember, I'm not asking you to write communicated technical insights. I'm asking you to explain technical concepts to non-technical people. And communicate insights is not explaining complex topics, right? I need you to explain the complex topics to them, and I need to see how you did it and the reason you did it. Took criticism from stakeholder and work with them does not matter. Remember, you're not looking for an internship, you're looking for a full-time role. And if you're looking for a full-time role, then this is an irrelevant sentence that can be completely deleted. The criticism is only for interns. There's a reason that's the only one that has it. Created a hot... okay, this doesn't even matter. Mapped national lightings. Again, why does that matter? Queried. Again, you don't tell me the reason and result or how you did it. Compared pricing. You don't tell me why. Tableau to visualize all insights. Cool. You don't tell me how. Like, you really only have half a sentence in each of these. Like, you need to rewrite your sentences like this. Like, operated our point of sale cash register to collect money from customers and perform basic math to give them proper change, keeping them engaged with customer service while I prepared their food and beverages. All of your sentences are, I did X, but I need to know the reason and result of you doing it. And for some of them, I need to know the how. So this is the big problem with this resume is your bullet points are, again, like the best way I can say is like anemic. They're really not fully there. They need some extra help. They need more, right? You need to pump them up. I need more than that because right now they're just, I used Excel and Python to collect data. Okay, cool. Why did you do it? I spoke with stakeholders and communicated them. Okay, but why? Why did you do that? Did you succeed? I don't know. You didn't tell me. So that is the big problem with this resume and why it's not working. It's like the formatting's a little off, but a bigger issue is just it doesn't have the content I need. So that's all I can do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. If you ever need any more help, feel free to join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I get these keywords and I help people out a little bit more. And I just want to thank you all for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. It helps me out. And to my members who get access to videos a little bit early, thank you very much for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. If you want to be a member, you can join in the link below. But that is it for this video, and I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.